Hello and welcome to this Traffic Lights Toolkit tutorial video. This video is about a case study we did in developing this toolkit at Canterbury Christ Church University. And this was part of the HEFCE Higher Education Innovation Fund Catalyst project. And this particular case study was with a set of students in their final year of their studies, their third year of their studies, life science students who were working on their final year dissertation project. The interesting aspect of this case study was that we delivered the tool in two different formats. The first engagement students had with the tool was as a paper-based tool, and the second and third engagements they had with the tool was as a digital version in Excel, which was delivered to them via an online logbook they had to complete as part of their project. So the paper-based tool they initially engaged with looked like this. So we have here the perception of challenge tool with 12 statements that students could self-assess themselves against. These were broken down into three phases of the project, so preparation, execution, and presentation of the project. They had to indicate the date they completed the tool, their student ID so we could link it to the individual students, and then it also had to be signed by their supervisor for their project, so to evidence that they'd actually discussed the tool with their supervisor. We had three columns with each statement, so we have the color column where they can indicate the confidence level via the traffic lights colors, green meaning confident, amber meaning concern, red meaning worry or anxiety. They used, in this case, stickers. So these tools were completed in a workshop with a briefing where the students were talked through the tool, how to use it, and how it would inform and support their project and the preparation for their project. So students used stickers, colored stickers, to indicate the color. They then rated themselves on a scale of 1 to 10 against each of these statements to indicate their confidence level in numbers. And then finally, they had a space here to note down any thoughts they had, any reasons for why they gave a certain color to a certain statement, and any kind of points they wanted to raise with their supervisor to get support with those. On the reverse side of the piece of paper was a quadrant tool where students were able to place each of the numbered statements here from the perception of challenge tool in the two-dimensional space, indicating how much direction they needed and how much support they needed. Again, to see how those two dimensions work, you can refer to some of our other materials that we have available on our website, where you can also download this template and other templates for use. And that website is linked to in the description of this video and is also at the beginning and at the end of this video. So that was the paper-based tool the students used, and then once they had their online logbook available to them, they transitioned for the second and third engagement with the tool. They transitioned to a digital version in Excel, as you can see here. So this had descriptions and guides on how to use the tools to remind students of that, because there had been quite a gap. The first tool was completed around February, when students were beginning to prepare their project, so February, March, April, around that time. The second tool was completed in October, around the midpoint for most of the students' projects, and the final tool was completed in December, just before they had their final meeting with their supervisor. So this was to remind students of how to engage with the tool. They had a space here to place their student ID so we could associate the digital file with the student, and then, just like with the paper-based tool, they had a digital version of the same 12 statements, with one added statement here, which added students to reflect on how the progress on their project was going and whether they felt confident they could complete the project in time. And that was an important point to bring up with their supervisor if they had low confidence in that. The Excel spreadsheet was formatted for them to add the color rating that they needed, the numerical rating, and if you need any guidance or help or have any questions about how that works, you can refer to some of the other tutorial videos we have on the project website, where you can see a detailed guide on how to format and how to use that pre-formatted template. Again, a space for notes, thoughts, and comments for students, and then finally on the right here, the quadrant tool where they could add in the statements from the perception of challenge tool. So a one-to-one translation of the paper-based tool into digital format. So that essentially was how we delivered this tool to students on this case study. Again, for further information on this and other projects and case studies we did around this, please see the website that's linked to in the description. I hope you found this tutorial useful, and thank you very much for watching.